Welcome back, everybody, to Ensworth Live. I'm Max Keller alongside Nate Stein. And we got a good one here for you today on the baseball diamond. Your Ensworth Tigers are facing the Pope John Paul II, or as we call him, JPII. They're the Knights, which is an okay logo. We'll give it to them, but I'll take a Tiger over a Knight any day.
I mean, if you're going to do, like, literal combat between a knight and a tiger, it would probably depend on how good of a knight said knight is.
Right.
But I think you're right, Max. I think I'm taking the tiger.
Right. Well, that's a debate for another time. But as this one's grounded fair to start the game, and it'll be out. Great play from Connor Cobb over to Dax Bramer. So Ben Daniel on the mound for the Tigers today in the third game of the series. This is a even series. The Knights took the first game on Tuesday, if you were watching, an electric game from the pitcher Lax for JP2, who threw a 6-inning shutout, didn't get to finish the game, but the Tigers had no offense that game. Meanwhile, yesterday, go to JP2, they get the 9-2 win, including scoring 6 runs in the top of the 7th inning. And if you're new to high school baseball, we only play 7. And so, Nate, how can they carry this momentum from yesterday into today's game?
It really is just a decision, in my opinion, Max. I mean, they know that they can score on this team. They showed us that yesterday. I mean, when you put up 6 runs in an inning against anybody, it's a pretty good feeling. But when it's against a team that you know you're going to see again within 24 hours, it's a great feeling. You know that your bats have gotten hot. You feel comfortable bouncing back after putting up no runs on your home turf. So they're back home today, and they have a great opportunity to put together a little bit of a streak. And guess what? Lax isn't on the mound, so you don't even have to worry about that. He is in center field tonight.
Well, JP2 is looking to reverse the script and make this their home, as high schoolers love to claim, this is our house. But hopefully we're allowing JP2 to walk out of here losing the series. Well, I tell you what, Ensworth really needs to get it going here early on in the season. The record now sitting at 3-10. Not the way you want to start the season, but a lot of competition and a lot of games that weren't even played. And that just can't be healthy for, a team's mindset. But now that you're, really getting back into the rhythm of playing and you get a 2 home game series, this is the second time being at home for the Tigers. I think it makes it a lot easier when you get to walk out of your own locker room instead of having to get on a bus after school. And a great strikeout from Daniel picks up the second out.
Absolutely. It's Geritano going down there, swinging at fastball up high. But, Max, to your point, it has been a weird season. It's been a weird season for all high school sports this year. Games that should have been played that couldn't get played for one reason or another. Teams that had to go on pause for extended periods of time. So, obviously, you want to kind of move away from that and get into a bit of a rhythm. But you can't play the woe is me card if you are stuck in a situation like that, because everybody has to deal with that. It's just the nature of the sport at this point.
Well, and along with the weather climate in the south in the spring oftentimes will spray some showers down. So anytime you get to be out on the diamond, I consider a win. And the weather couldn't be more perfect here today. Beautiful in the mid-60s.
Yeah,
clear skies.
63 and sunny, a little bit of a break from the scattered storms we had yesterday. Not sure if these two teams saw any of that up in Hendersonville. But here, a little bit closer to downtown Nashville, we were getting storms in the mid-afternoon, so it's a good thing that they were able to get that game in.
And so now that pitch must have slipped as Ben Daniel hurt his arm. And he looks like he's coming out of the game.
Yeah, he's immediately going to run off to the dugout, keeping that right arm close to the rest of his body. So I think it's safe to say that Ben Daniel's day is done, and we're going to get a new pitcher in pretty much right away, which is not what you want to see.
At all, because if you remember from the game on Monday, Ensworth had to go into their rotation after Mason Jablonski hurt his arm midway through the second. And that is just unfortunate because, quite frankly, Ben Daniel had a great start to this game.
Yeah, I mean, got Carroll to ground out on the first pitch of the game, straight to the shortstop Cobb. Carroll, who did a lot of the damage early on for the Knights back here on Tuesday. And then Geritano got him swinging at a pitch a little bit out of the zone, so obviously he's hiding his stuff pretty well if you're getting a battered chase early like that. It looks like, is that Titus Woodson
Yeah,
coming
Titus
in
is
again?
going to come in. He came in and pitched 3 on Tuesday.
Yeah, we saw pretty good work from Woodson. He only allowed 1 or 2 runs after it was Jablonski who got a little hit around early on, an early deficit for the Tigers. But Woodson, the senior, going to come back in and have another opportunity to show his stuff.
Well, at this point, if you combine his 2 outings, we hope he can have a good one today. And if you do that, it might add up to starting pitching numbers.
Yeah, and hey, with Daniel going down with who knows what at this point, you could need someone else who's able to eat up some of those early innings and be at least a starter in role, and that someone could be Woodson if he comes out and gives extended innings today. We'll take a quick break while Woodson gets warmed up. Stick with us here on Ensworth Live after this.
Welcome back to Ensworth Live. We bring you this broadcast of Ensworth baseball. We are heading for the 4th batter, or 3rd batter for JPII?
Third batter.
Yeah, only 3 batters after Pete Daniels struck out and grounded out the first 2 batters in JP2's lineup. Had to exit the game with something that appeared to be an arm injury. And now Titus Woodson, who relieved on Tuesday, will have to come in and eat up some innings. He has 3-1 and walks the batter. And, well, last week, or excuse me, on last Tuesday, it was the opposite outcome for Woodson, who came in with 2 strikes and got a free strikeout on 1 pitch. And this time he unfortunately will feel the reverse of that by picking up a walk on 1 pitch.
Easy come, easy go.
Yep.
Baseball giveth and baseball taketh right back.
And so now what felt like could have been a stagnant start to the game for JP2, maybe, you never want injury, but this could be one of those ones where you see a new pitcher in the game and you kind of feel that reset button if you're the Knights.
Sure, there's a lot of ways that this situation can go, and it looks like the Tigers with
Connor Kopp's
jump and tag. That's
Wow.
a great move by Bramer over at first to not only recognize that, yes, this ball is going to be high, but not even worry about the bag. Just say, hey, I got time, make the catch, make the tag. And that's probably the best way that this game could have gone from this point for the Tigers, at least early on, because there's a lot of things that can happen when a pitcher comes out, especially after only 2/3 of an inning. It throws the entire team off their rhythm. It can force a pitcher that comes in like Woodson to maybe rush things a little bit and overthink what he's trying to do, forget what the game plan was coming in because he's got a more protracted warm-up time. And he has to feel like, oh, get ready quick. Game's already started. I need to be ready right away. So it's good that he was able to settle in.
Right.
Obviously, first pitch ball, you don't ever expect to throw a first pitch walk because it can't really happen. But that's just the nature of coming in mid-count. So
Right.
Woodson was able to bounce back pretty well, get Jackson to ground out to the shortstop Cobb, who saw a little bit of work, and still zeros on the board, no damage.
Well, I definitely really trust Woodson moving forward in this game, but I think the one thing that's going to help him the most, if this offense can put up some security runs, that's something that the pitching rotation hasn't had as much this season with the limited runs that we've seen. But
even last night, they didn't get it until the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, that means it was a 3-2 ball game.
Yeah, that's tight. That puts stress on a bullpen. Even though you're winning a tight game like that, puts emotional pressure on them.
Well, we were seeing some warming up here from JPII. Who we got on the mound, Nate?
It's Deason on the mound. He played right field on Tuesday rather. So that's the big switch. You have Lax moving out to center field. For those of you who were with us on Tuesday and can remember this lineup, Lax was on the mound. He's now in center. You had Giratano, who was in center, who moved over to right field, and Deason, who was in right field, coming in to pitch. He's out there on the mound. So it is the same 9 or 10 players that we saw Tuesday from JP2, and we'll see if they pinch hit anybody or if these are their 9 guys and these are the guys that they trust through most of the series. As of now, it looks like it's going to be the latter, where Coach has his guys and knows who he trusts and just kind of shuffles them around and trusts them to play multiple positions on different days.
Well, if anybody's going to get the offense going early on, it's this man at the plate, number 2, Devin Obie, Duke commit and highly touted prospect here in his senior year, and he loves to swing at the first pitch, and you could just tell he was ready for that one. And Coach Maxwell getting active with the legs to go pick up that baseball. Well, if you ask Coach, I'm sure he was thrilled with the win yesterday, but he is so important for these guys, and it is really just a great baseball culture we have here and the talent in the lineup, and so now you're hoping to see some W's in the column. So 1-1 count for Devin Obie, who can send it about any geographical location on this campus, but he'll pop the first one up to short and most likely be out. He is out.
So not what you want to see from Obie. He has all the awards, all of the recruiting, expecting to get drafted in this year's MLB draft, but hasn't totally produced at the level that the Tigers have expected him to this year as the leadoff hitter and as a senior, batting .303, a couple extra base hits, a big home run a couple weeks ago, but not a whole lot else to show for it. Another Duke commit, trying to show up in the same way. Similar boat as Obie, batting just over 300, 316, couple doubles, a triple in there, but 8 strikeouts on the season. He's looking to get hot here pretty soon.
Well, Andrew is talented in both areas. He can hit the ball, and his contact is unbelievable. He can drive the ball about anywhere you want him to, and that means that he has great control over timing and swing path, but he is one of the best you can put behind the plate, as he is just lockdown city and has an arm to go with it. So all-around player Andrew Yu takes that pitch for ball 2. 2-1 count, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0s on the board. And we will see what Andrew Yu can do with the hitter's count. Puts this one down. Pitcher throws his glove at it. Shortstop comes over, makes the play, and a great stretch from the first baseman. And that'll be an out for Andrew Yu.
A little bit of an awkward play there from Deason. I don't know if he was trying to throw his glove or if he was just trying to lunge at it, but his glove flew through the air. And give credit to the shortstop, Oathout, for not getting distracted by his pitcher's glove flying pretty much right in his line of sight, maybe blocking view of the ball for a second. He gathered it, made a bit of a high throw, but it's a solid stretch over there on the right side from Sweat to get the out. Bang, bang play at first.
And so Deason goes off speed with that first one. Curveball outside. He's been missing outside pretty frequently this inning to start the game. And that's where Lax really did most of his damage, was on that outside corner on Tuesday. Maybe something in the scouting report for the Tigers. And Kenny's timing was off on that one. That was a curveball right down the middle, but I think Kenny saw the wrong pitch out of the hand. And Kenny has a home run this season, which he bombed in an away game. And we know he has the warning track power. He's trying to get the average up as we move forward, and that's going to be strike 3. And we are heading to the top of the second, where Titus Woodson will be back on the mound, and we'll be right back.